A nation can die without war. No bombs, no bullets, just silence and surrender. It's already happening, quietly, and you're living in it. And it rarely happens in a single day. It starts with small concessions, a right you ignore, a lie you tolerate, a truth you refuse to confront. Piece by piece, people surrender their judgment for comfort, their voice for convenience, their backbone for approval. Until one morning you wake up and realize the chains were not forced on you. You clasped them on yourself. A dying nation doesn't collapse with a roar. It fades with a whisper. Not because its enemies were too strong, but because its people stopped asking questions, stopped thinking, stopped caring. And the scariest part? The downfall never looks like a disaster until it's already too late. Number 1. Collapse the economy, collapse the people. Civilizations don't fall from explosions. They fall from numbers. Print money endlessly. Call it quantitative easing. Call it stimulus. Call it economic relief. But the truth is brutal. When money loses its value, people lose their sanity. Savings evaporate. Wages shrink. The middle class becomes permanently anxious, always working, never arriving. A nation that cannot predict the future eventually fears the future. When money betrays its people, they start betraying themselves. And a betrayed population never fights back. But destroying the money is only the first cut. The next cut slices into identity. Number 2. Make the masses hate their own reflection. You cannot destroy a nation if its dominant group is confident. So you take their confidence and weaponize guilt. Rewrite their story as pure sin. Teach them to apologize for their bloodline. Make guilt their identity. A population convinced it shouldn't exist won't defend itself when threatened. People glorify foreign heroes while portraying their own ancestors as oppressors. They kneel before narratives designed to break them. No tribe survives once it learns to hate its own reflection. A population that hates itself will never resist when power claims what remains. But what happens when you don't just break identity? You break the bloodline. Number 3. Shatter the home, shatter tomorrow. Strong societies build families. Dying societies dismantle them. Convince young women that femininity and motherhood are chains. Convince young men that masculinity is dangerous. Convince both that natural bonds are shameful. The ancient dance between the sexes fades, and generations fade with it. Children need 2 elements to be whole: structure and softness, strength and warmth. Remove either, and they become adults who cannot hold themselves together, much less hold a nation together. Destroy the family, and the future collapses silently, like a house of rotting wood. But if breaking the family isn't enough, make sure they stay broken forever. Number 4. Normalize separation. Undermine stability. Call it empowerment. Call it freedom. Normalize broken homes. Reward instability. Mock commitment as outdated. Divorce over trivial reasons becomes socially acceptable. Children grow up seeing love as temporary. Stability becomes foreign to them, even frightening. And a population raised in instability is easily distracted, easily manipulated, easiest to control. Unstable children become unstable adults, and unstable adults cannot uphold a civilization. A society with broken families is weak. A society with broken bodies is helpless. Chaos is inherited quietly.
Number 5. Taint the food, numb the population.
If you want a population too tired to resist, too sick to think, too numb to care, feed them poison disguised as convenience. Cheap calories, expensive nutrition, artificial flavors engineered to addict. Tell the poor they're making smart choices. Tell them illness is their fault. Sell them sickness flavored with salt, sugar, and marketing. A healthy population asks questions. An unhealthy population obeys. A population that cannot think clearly obeys blindly. But the most strategic attack is the one no man sees coming.
Number 6. Weaken the male body, silence the male spirit. Empires rise on the strength of their men. Not aggression, but discipline, ambition, drive, responsibility, courage. So weaken them chemically. Flood the environment with xenoestrogens. Pollute food, water, plastics, grooming products, anything that chokes testosterone. Men lose their fire. Ambition fades. Drive disappears. Slowly, silently, they sink into passivity, depression, detachment. A society without strong men becomes a playground for tyrants. When men no longer lead, tyrants inherit the world. But even a weak man can rebel, unless you break his ability to understand the world. Number 7. Overload the mind, paralyze the will. Control through force is crude. Control through confusion is perfect. Flood them with information. Contradict every fact with another fact. Make truth feel optional. People don't stop believing truth. They stop caring about it. A mind that cannot trust itself becomes desperate for someone to trust. A mind that doubts itself will follow anyone who speaks with certainty. And once the mind breaks, the final step is simple. Number 8. Divide and conquer. The oldest trick in the book. People united are powerful. People divided are profitable. So split them into smaller and smaller identities. Gender versus gender, race versus race, class versus class, victim versus oppressor, individuals with no alliances, groups with no unity, societies fighting imaginary enemies while the real enemy thrives. A fragmented society cannot resist corruption because it cannot even identify it. Once the people turn on each other, you don't need to attack them. They'll finish the job themselves, while calling it progress. This is how you kill a nation without war. Break its currency, break its family, break its biology, break its identity, break its clarity. No invasion, no revolution, no bullets, no noise. Just a slow, surgical collapse, celebrated as progress, freedom, modernization, social change. If you think this is a warning, you're mistaken. It's a mirror. Look closely. If any of this feels familiar, you're watching history die quietly, and you're living inside its funeral.